Hello, and welcome to another round of Sarah Sabin's question time. And today's question is, Sarah, is empathy at work overrated? And my answer to that question is, depends what you understand of empathy and how you apply it. So let me just give a little bit of context as to what I mean. There are different types of empathy. And unfortunately, because people have multiple definitions of the same thing, it can be a bit confusing. Let me tell you what empathy is not. It is not patting people on the head and telling them wonderful things and being nice to everyone all the time. That is not empathy. That is probably people pleasing, to be frank. So, at a practical level, there are three types of empathy. You've got cognitive empathy, where you're able to think as someone else thinks. You've got emotional empathy, where you're able to feel what another person is feeling. And you've got empathic concern. So this is more like where you keep an objective distance and you give someone what they need. So a good example of that is a doctor prescribing a course of treatment for their patient. You can imagine if a doctor was too empathetic, um, those first two types of empathy, especially the second, it would be so draining that they would just not be able to perform their function properly. So, understanding these different types of empathy and understanding in what situations to apply those types of empathy is important. Now, one thing that it is important to understand is that empathy is not just about the other person. So, what I mean by that is when you understand empathy at work and you know how to apply it properly, you are going to be more able to move people to action. Imagine, right? So, I'll give you a concrete example. You've got a team member that is not performing, and you want to obviously get them to perform. It's really helpful for you to understand how they think because then you will be more able to move them to action because you will have some understanding of what motivates them. And that's a really important factor. So the surface level answer I often hear is, well, they're motivated by money. And I'm like, great, what else? Because there's always something underneath that, whether it's validation, recognition, um, creating an impact, whatever it is. When you understand that, you can really become a powerful communicator because you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and you can therefore understand how best to communicate with them. Because one of the keys to excellent communication is knowing your audience. And one of the best ways to know your audience is to be good at empathy, being able to understand what people are thinking and what people are feeling. And you can do that without getting bogged down in it. So that there can be a line where if you are naturally empathetic, that you start taking on other people's emotions, thoughts, feelings. You want to be careful not to do that. Remember why you are applying empathy in a work context. Yes, it's because you care about your team, you care about the company, but it's also so that you understand in all circumstances how to communicate and how to drive people to action and how to problem solve.